Well, good afternoon, my ladies and my gents. Well, this is part two, I guess, of today's videos. This is my Pro Stock Effing Everything Group Build Update. It is sponsored by Josh over at VCG Resins and Chris over at Scale Speed Garage. And those of you that don't realize, Chris uh, gets a lot of the printing plans over to Josh, who then prints them and sells them. You can also go to scalespeedgarage.com and actually get, if you have your own 3D printer, you can download files. You can buy and download files and print your own materials. So go check them out. Um, anyway, first off, and this is a question I posed at the end of the other video, if you didn't catch it. I was doing this 76 Caprice, and I was thinking, I picked up at Hobby Lobby a while back this really pretty purple lavender by a company called Iron Lac. It's, here we go, Ironlak. It's an Australian company. The paint, like I said, the color is just, it is really pretty. And I don't know if I did something wrong or just what happened, but it came out pebbly. I didn't orange peel. It pebbled straight out of the can. And it really needs to take the paint off. And I tried sanding it down to see if I could smooth it enough because I love the color. But I wound up taking it down in order to get it smoothed down enough. I'm having to take it down to the plastic, and I'm a little afraid of actually taking some of the uh, detail off, because even though this is an incredibly bad kit for just wanting to do, unless you really have a burning desire for a 76 Chevy Capri, or you want the car hauling trailer, this is one that you really kind of, unless you want to really carve it up like I'm doing, it's really one you kind of want to skip. But anyway, the detail that's molded into the body is actually pretty nice. The little badges and things that are all over it are very finely wrought, and I really want to save those. So I'm needing to strip. And right now, all I've got in the house that I can do it is the Super Clean. It works really well on chrome. It does a really pretty good job. It may take longer on some types, like some of the Revell of Germany. They kind of wind up having to leave it set overnight. And others, like some of the AMT, it'll 10-15 minutes. It'll cut the chrome down. Still got to do some cleanup, but it really does a pretty good job. A lot better than scraping. So, if any of y'all have got a better idea, I guess it's an acrylic paint. So something, I've heard brake cleaner, I've heard oven cleaner. Uh, I've got a bit of a problem with the brake cleaner. I'm gonna may get some oven cleaner at Walmart, so I need to get a drink of. My neighbor is mowing his pasture, I guess, yard, and it's mostly weeds, and I've had a couple of sneezing fits here in the last while, so I could feel one kind of starting to bubble, so I had to get something to drink. But anyway, if any of y'all got any ideas for that, please let me know. Drop a comment down below, shoot me an email. Text Jester 19500 at Reagan.com. Let me know your ideas. Let me know what works. So, first time I've actually done something like this. Yeah, this one's going to be a lot of firsts on this one. So anyway, let me turn the camera around because I got a little bit of an update, and I'm a little bit proud and a little bit kind of at myself because I'm seeing things that didn't quite work out like I'd hoped. But anyway, let me turn the camera around and see what happens. Okay, well, so this is kind of just a mock-up of what I got going on right now. Interior, start with that. A couple years ago, I picked up some Chevy white that I used on Mom's 69 GTO. It's the car that graces my channel. Actually kind of proud of that. But this is the factory color for it, but it's a flat, and it really is kind of nice for stuff like interior. So I'm using that. Carpet is going to be uh, Tamiya XF53 neutral gray. Some of the trim I'm going to have is a lighter gray, the XF20 medium. The car I've got, it's a Rust-Oleum cranberry. I'm going to wind up painting it instead of that real pretty lavender. I'm frustrated with that. So, but anyway, so that's kind of what's going on there. On the bottom, I used a gray primer because it's really a pretty nice paint. And I'm going to be using this for the drive shaft tunnel, and instead of mocking all that up. And you can kind of see what I got going here. The frame, kind of pleased with, but at the same time, I'm a little frustrated with myself because I didn't take the time and effort to go through and actually clean things up like I thought I had. And you can kind of see some places that are not the best. Some of this is going to get some detail painting on it. This is part of the tunnel that I had to put up. I just used some really thin, uh, like 0.05 millimeter, I think, clear styrene for that. But put this on here, it matches up right there because there was nothing there, and all you were seeing was this. So I did that. Kind of pleased with that. Got the separate firewall and whatnot instead of using the front of the front of the tub. I got the transmission mount. Got the front suspension here. I got a beam for the engine mounts. I've got a couple of pieces cut for that. And this, I had to add on a little bit onto the mount here in order to bring it down over the shaft that goes from here to here. Shifter shaft, I guess you'd call it. But it will sit real pretty just right there. The engine will actually set up a little bit. I just got it sitting on the exhaust. It'll actually sit up about like this, and everything will work out just real nice. I need to cut a hole in the hood for the carburetors and air cleaners, and so I'm pretty pleased with that. Like I said, it's not perfect. Just put a tie rod in there, just kind of for something there. It's not the best in the world. Not a lot of people are actually going to see underneath it a lot. I'm not going to be showing it. I'm not going to be taking it out. It's not perfect. It's the second time I've actually fabricated a frame, and it's the first time I've done it like this. So it's not, you can see it's not exactly 100% square. I didn't get everything quite even, that type of thing. So, but I am learning. I'm learning a lot more. Hopefully my skills are growing a little bit. But basically, built all this up. I think y'all have seen that before, but now it's got paint on it. Yay! More on the interior. Seats, I'm going to use. I'm not going to use the bucket or the bench that comes with it. Hyro Boy, I picked these up. I don't know what, last year sometime, and it's from Hobby Design. Like I said, I got them from Hyro Boy over in England. I don't know. I've never actually looked to see if Hobby Design has got their own store. They can sell their stuff on theirs. I don't know. I've never looked at it. So maybe y'all can check it out. Maybe sometime I will too. But I have these. This is what we are. It is a cast resin that is a yellow. And that's basically that, and some decals. Recaro decals that go on it. That's all that comes in the box. So I did have another set, same company, that I put in the 65 pickup that I did. and it had an extra set of floor mounts for the seats. So I'm going to use these to mount that up on. I'm going to put gray trim, the lighter gray trim in the centers here, and that kind of thing. Kind of, dress it up a little bit. Going to keep the back seat in here. I'm going to build a roll cage kind of around. It's not necessarily going to be a full-on NHRA or Saturday Night Special roll cage. It's going to be a barely street legal door slammer is essentially what I'm going to have. And the type where you have drag slicks on when you're at the track and you take them off and stick the drag slicks in the trunk and put your street tires on it and drive it home. This is my plan. So to that end, I am using the wrinkle drags. It wasn't my initial intention to put these on this particular car, but I'm going to go ahead and use that because that's about the only thing that really fills up the wheel well of the tires that I have on hand. So I'm going to do that. And same type of thing, like I said, you wind up being able just to take them off and throw on some street tires for the back, and you can drive home. And to that end, for the front tires, I've got these. They're little 4-inch wide, 4 or 6, 4-inch. They're the I had an extra set of the Weld Magnum set that I wound up using Steely's for the front tires and from the kit, and it wound up coming out looking pretty neat. So I wound up with these, and these are the wheels that go in them, and that's going to be the tire setup on it. So, well, you have wrinkled slicks. I mean, somebody's getting on the gas pedal, ain't they? So you need somebody in the driver's seat, right? Well, I've got a couple of gangster types that are in suits from, what is it, the Gangbusters, I think it is. That 32, 36 Buick. And I got a couple of figures there. And from the one from the Dart that I did, I have another figure. And this one might actually work out better. Doesn't have any helmet on, doesn't have a racing suit on. He is basically taking it out of the shop and giving it a little bit of gas and kind of testing things out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And so I'm going to have him in the seat with the seat belt, the belts on. And so, yeah, shifter lever. VCG Resins T-handle. And it fits really pretty right along there instead of having it on the column. Speaking of, I kind of made my own. This is a VCG Resins steering wheel. Kind of made my own steering column and drilled out a hole for it because, let me get a pair of tweezers here. Nope, not them. Those are too big. Yeah, those will work. I have, where did you go? There you are. I showed you these the other day. It is from Hooligans, and it is, let me zoom that in a little. I got this little guy for the ignition, and you drill out a hole and you paint it up and you tuck that in the hole and that dangles down. And I had several different types, and I thought that would be kind of fun to stick in there for the ignition. And because the ignition on those were on the tree rather than in the floor, so or I mean on the dash. So I got that, and also need to put a turn signal switch on it because the one that comes with the kit is the steering wheel and the steering wheel shaft, the yeah, it was all one piece. So, but anyway, I got that going. Dash is going to be the stock dash. I'm going to paint it up. I'm one of the stupid people that likes to paint up the dash rather than use decals on it. So, but anyway, um, now that I've prattled on long enough with this, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to put this stuff together and I'm going to get out of here because it's getting close to dinner time. So, anyway, B-Tex signing out.